Hello, it's Book of Katherine, and welcome to my back to school special that I'm going to do for you because I know it's this big back to school season and we have been talking a lot about shopping recently. I know I'm wearing the same shirt as I did in another video, but it's because I love it. I'm going to show you why. It is a recent thrift shop find, and it is, yes. Do you see that? And yes, I am in love with it. So it is just a little bit of Alexander McQueen-esque. So I am just kind of in love with this at the moment. So I need to get a pin that I can go ahead and put right here to wear it in some sort of fashion like this. I would like to wear it like that. But I have not been buying brooches because I don't have anything to do a pin with. And then I was just like, oh, I finally have something to wear a pin with. So I'm going to find a pin and do that. And I'm getting off. So anyway, so we've been talking a lot about shopping recently on my Twitter feed, but we haven't really talked about shopping on here. Not a whole lot except for makeup. So let's talk about shopping. So what I've been saying on my Twitter and what to do for back to school shopping. So first of all, we've been talking about thrift shopping, and we've been talking about buying from China, made in China, and we have been talking about buying at Macy's, and we've been talking about buying makeup. So let's roll all of those into back to school shopping. Now, back to school shopping used to be necessary because you had to buy school supplies for your kids. You had to buy like new pencils, new paper, things for your kids to write on. And a lot of that is kind of out the window because a lot of schools are actually using, you know, tablets now, which is unfortunate. But, you know, hopefully your school is actually using pen and paper. But hopefully you're not actually taking your kids back to school because of what they're now teaching in school, which is really, really terrifying. Absolutely terrifying what they're teaching. If you don't know, then maybe you should probably watch this, but it's not what the U.S. education system used to teach. It's actually what the UN is now teaching. And if you know anything about the UN and the dictators in it, then you know that it's probably not something that you want your kids learning. It's socialism, and it's kind of run by China, basically. And so that's what's been, if you talk to teachers, they'll tell you that that their before school training has changed dramatically in the last 2 years. And so it's a very, very different curriculum that's come into the schools. And I can go into the funding and all that. So about what's behind it. So it's a very, very different atmosphere that your kids are going into, unfortunately. And there's a lot of abuse going on, and the media is really covering that up. And so I can attach that here about all the, because of the unions and the teachers union, you know, they're being paid like they're the best paid people in the US. They're being paid, if you break it down per hour with the 3 months off, they're being, well, honestly, a lot of them are being paid over $100,000 a year, which puts them in the top 2%. So top 2% teachers are. So, but with that kind of buying power and the fact that they have had to pay dues, they've kind of had this stronghold where that if any teacher committed abuses or physical violence against kids, they just pay the teacher off or move them around, kind of like the Catholic Church. So it's a really dangerous environment. All these horror stories are coming out about things that are going on with kids, because if any kind of harm comes to your kids, you won't hear about it. Like the parents aren't told. The teachers union locks it down. It's a hush-hush thing. So that's the problem with public schools, is that you're sending them into a place where teachers unions protect their own. And so if anything happens to your child, it won't be reported to you. It won't be reported to the police. Everything's kept in-house, and there's plenty of undercover video to show that. So if you want to see that kind of undercover video here, I'll show here, but there's a investigative team that's been doing it, undercover investigations across the U.S. all year long. So that's my little thing on back to school. So if you want to look into that, you can do that. But as far as buying goes, I would say that it used to be about buying school supplies, right? And buying those sorts of things. And it's kind of morphed, and then also buying clothes if your kids have grown out of the clothes that they were in prior to that. So buying clothes that fit this time or any clothes that they were in the year before that. But because we've become this kind of consumer culture, and because of the World Trade Organization that happened in 1999, and because of China and Amazon and eBay, because China pretty much owns Amazon. And if you look at China's economic policies, that's one of the things that we learned this last weekend. China has an economic policy. They have 50 policies that they use to do world, and it turns out Amazon does all of those practices. It's the same thing. Everything, if you look at Amazon's warehouses, everything ships from China, goes straight to Amazon warehouses and goes out. None of American manufacturing goes to an Amazon warehouse. It's literally just, and then they use the exact same policies. That's why everything's so locked down on Amazon. It's very hard to get undercover video, but it's been done. Undercover video has been done at Amazon, and it's pretty terrifying when you see what happens. Like, you can't talk to any of your coworkers. Like, they lock you down, they put GPS tracking on you, and if you talk to a coworker 3 times, you get fired. Things like that, and you get 10-minute lunch breaks. And you get physical trauma and things like that. But if you complain, then you get docked, and they give 3 strikes, you're out about complaining, whole 9 yards. But I can do that documentary here. So it's run just like China inside, just the way China runs its factories. Amazon runs inside its factories. So and that's what a lot of the trade deficit comes from, is that Amazon is this huge billion-dollar company, and that we put so much money into Amazon, it goes over to China's wealth. But because it's so cheap, we easily buy, and we 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 buy. So we've kind of forgot that back to school used to be just for the necessities in life, right? We just forgot about the necessities and what we need to do. And it's become instead this kind of buying spree of like, outfit our kids and make them a whole new fashion statement, right, for the year. And so our kids have kind of gotten to this habit of like, we get a whole new wardrobe. Now they get a whole new bedspread. They get a whole new bed sheet. They get a whole new designer set. And it really is become like the elites. Like, that's how the elites used to live. And now our kids kind of are used to living the elite lifestyle of having like what they want, when they want it, and when they want it now. And that's an elite lifestyle, but they've trained our kids of America to do that, to kind of drain our wealth and let it go to China. And then they get to go ahead and buy out the rest of the world. Like, there's a documentary on how China just bought out Africa, and now Africa is voting with China at the UN. And like all of Africa is actually voting with China at the UN now. And I could show you that documentary here. Good Lord, this is a different video than I thought it was going to be. So anyway, what we can do about all of that for our back to school, and also save our wallets at the same time, amazingly enough, even less than China, because one of the biggest things that they make their money on outside of Amazon, amazingly enough, that your kids are spending on that you're not even aware of it, is fast fashion. Fast fashion is a clothing industry that started up about 15 years ago, and YouTube and Google really drives it. And fast fashion is sold through influencers on YouTube, and they go on there and they say, look what I bought, and look at all these clothes that I bought, and they sell it as inexpensive fashion that you can buy online. And they have seasonal things, like this is the new seasonal, and they just sell all these things. And fast fashion has, like, every week there's a new whole set of clothes that come out. Well, they're made in like the labor camps of China. But the thing is that the world's wealthiest billionaire right now, like, he just became it just like 2 years ago. He's a fast fashion billionaire. He's new. He just came up the ranks, but he made his fortune on fast fashion from the kids of the Western countries buying fast fashion. Now, you would think that these fast fashion clothes are really, really inexpensive, but they're not. They're like $35 to $60 a piece. Even bright, happy, cheery young people like Bunny, on like YouTuber Bunny, who's like, oh, so sweet and so kind, when she wears a t-shirt that says like, my friend got me this from the moon, that t-shirt was $60. That was a $60 t-shirt that said somebody went to the moon and they got me this t-shirt. It was a $60 t-shirt. So like these fast fashions are really not as inexpensive as you think, and our kids are just like draining their wealth on this, and so when it comes to back to school, it's a great training opportunity for both you and your kids to find out the kind of fashion that's out there that's really, really inexpensive in the way that we used to spend before 1992 and the UN started this whole Agenda 21 thing. Now in 1992, if you notice our wealth, we were going right along during the Reagan years, we were actually coming like this. Like the bottom 90%'s wealth was actually coming towards the 1%'s wealth. We were actually getting like this, right? And then during H.W. Bush's years, it stayed straight. And then 1992 hit with UN 21, and it went like this, boom. And we just steadily went like this. And the bottom 90%'s wealth went down, and the top 1%'s wealth went up. And part of that is Starbucks. Like, part of that is Starbucks came along when we were paying 50 cents for a cup of coffee. If we paid for a cup of coffee at all, everyone used to brew, and do Folgers at home. And then all of a sudden, Starbucks came along and was charging $3.50 for for a cup of coffee that used to be 50 cents. That was a huge part of it. Starbucks was it's a very interesting thing how it came along with the UN, and the UN really pushed Starbucks. I mean, if you watch all of Starbucks policies are exactly identical to the UN. It's very interesting which companies are tied to the UN, because Amazon came right along in 1992 as well, both at Amazon and Starbucks. So there are certain companies tied to UN 21 that came along to drain our wealth, right? And to kind of help China and the other, countries dominate, and then America kind of drain its wealth and get weaker and weaker in the world. And so what you can do, though, is go back to how we used to spend before that time. And I stopped buying from Starbucks because of their policies of censorship. Like, they're really driving the censorship of voices like mine offline. That's why I stopped buying Starbucks. But then I found out about this stuff, and I was like, oh, well, I'm glad I already stopped buying them. So let me show you some of the things that we used to do. And it's been really, really fun. And you can teach your kids how to do this too. And that is buying vintage. And I am finding that vintage is not only much, much more inexpensive, and even more inexpensive than Macy's at times, because at Macy's is the one place where I would say actually open a credit card. It's good for your kids to build credit, but if you're going to open a credit card anywhere, Macy's is the place. Like, I don't ever recommend credit cards. Like, I'm not a big credit card person, but you have to open like one or two in your life. Like, your kids have to open like two. They're going to need one or two, right? And you have your debit card, you have your ATM card, but they're going to need some credit in their life. Macy's is a great one. Like, they like to see a retail one on it. And if you're going to do one, I would recommend Macy's. Because of the sales that you can get with Macy's. And Macy's card has gone way down. Like, don't get me wrong, it's gone way down. You have to use it very sparingly, and you cannot put a rotating balance on it anymore. They've gone into these really shady tricks that actually violate all of the laws. And so you can't leave a balance on anymore. They've kind of gone the way of Kohl's. Like, Kohl's is really tricky like that. They violate a lot of the consumer the other act that came before that. And that's part of the problem, is that, Massachusetts woman came through, the woman that was thinking about running for president, I think, and Elizabeth Warren, she came through and she did the Consumer Financial Protection Act that ripped everything out that protected us as consumers. And now all the credit cards are doing all the crap that they used to do before. And so you have to really watch with that in Macy's. But if you pay off the balance right away, you can get some amazing sales. And that's what we do. And so I get 7 pairs of pants for $100. And they're amazing pairs of pants that last forever. And they kind of shrink with me as I lose my weight loss. Like, I've had these pairs of pants for 6 months now, and as my weight has gone down, they're these stretchy pants. They've just stayed with me. They're such good pants, right? But even so, I'm not really planning on shopping there anytime soon, because I have great thrift stores near me. I have really, really good thrift stores through me. Now, I first started shopping vintage on eBay, and I can give you some tips on that, because I know thrift shops don't exist near everybody. Like, they didn't exist near me in California. There were some great stores for antiquing, amazing, like Mermaid's Chest out in Santa Barbara, but they didn't have clothing. Well, they had a little bit of clothing there, but nothing there that fit me. Like, it was all smaller and stuff like that. So, maybe now, but I got the girls. I don't know. So, yeah, and Ojai has some amazing, amazing stores. So antiquing is also, Ojai is stunning. I still remember some of the clothes in Ojai, but they're not big sections, and you want a place that has a lot of clothes. So, but the area I'm in now, which is out in, Woods America or whatever and stuff like that, or like rural America, I don't know what you would call it, but I'm not in the city. That's it. I'm not in the city at all. But their thrift shopping is like what Macklemore sung about in his thrift shop song. You know what I mean? They have a dollar section that he talked about. But I want to show you some of the things that I got in that thrift store, just to encourage your daughters and maybe even your sons, because now we're starting to look for my husband, and we're like, holy cow, for my husband. We just got like a Hugo Boss shirt, and it just looks stunning on him. And it reminds me of the days when I used to be able to buy this stuff. And I'm just like, this is no different than when I used to have the money to do it. And so now that we're down at the rate where we have to go shopping again, and we used to have to go out and spend $1,000 to replace our wardrobe, we don't have to do that now. Like, now we're not doing that and stuff. So I'm kind of at the end of like spending my and having fun, spending or whatever. So I'm kind of wrapped up with that, because I have to go back to paying the bills and all that fun stuff. But I didn't even spend that much, and I'm going to show you some of the things that I got. So because I think you're really going to love it, and I think your daughters will see that thrift shopping can actually be amazing. Kind of like this. This isn't my best top by far, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm just wondering, oh, this is a great example. All right. So like this chair. let's give an example if they want to do their college dorm room. All right, like this chair right here. I don't even know if you can see it. Can you see this chair? Do you know how beautiful this chair is? Not that they would have to get it, but there's chairs of all different styles. I don't know if you can see that. That is a chair that I would normally recommend to my friends have me shop online for them. Like when my friends have me shop online, they have me shop online for them all the time. Like they have me shop online for them for just about anything that you could think of. They have me go online and shop for them, which I love doing. Like, oh shoot, I need to go shop online for them for something. I forgot. Oh crap. Okay, I'm gonna have to go soon, so I need to go. I forgot. Okay, I need to go shop online for something for them. So, fudge. All right, so I shop online for them all the time. And so what happened is, like that chair, $10. And that's something off of a really expensive website. Like a really, that's not a $10 chair. But some people are just like, they don't want to go through the hassle of like selling it today. Like it's just a lot of work, and they just are like, you know, estates, and they just want to get rid of it, and they just want to move on, and they know it'll go to the community, and they're just good people, and so they let it go. So that's just an example, but it's my taste. It's my taste, and I needed to get rid of that chair because it really, really hurt to sit in. Like it hurt so bad to sit in. Like I sunk so low, and I want to start writing again, and I was like, I need a chair. I need a chair. And I was like, oh my gosh, it just appeared out of nowhere, and I was so grateful. I was so grateful. I was so grateful. So we just moved the other chair to my husband's work, and it looks gorgeous, and he can sit in just fine with no pain. It's just my back, so it was too low and everything like that. So now I'm like, that's why I'm up higher, if you notice. Anyway, I need to move on. All right, so here is, for example, here is just an example. Now, these are in my taste, but this is my point, is that they have every kind of thing there, right? They have every kind of thing. So, like, I'm showing you things of a certain style, but it doesn't have to be a certain style. But you've already seen things that I've gotten. But like this dish right here is $4. It's a mirror dish. Can you see this? This mirror dish was $4. $4. And it looks stunning. It looks like something off of a queen's chest. My friends are so jealous. They're so jealous. And you think all of your daughter's friends would not be like they would be like, what? You're not going to get this. You're not going to get this in Target. It's made so well. And I didn't have to dust it off or clean it off or anything. It's made so beautifully. It's made so, so well. All right. And so, all right. So you guys have already seen this necklace, right? And you saw it on me. It looks so much better on me. But you've already seen this necklace in another video. And I got that for, I think, under $4 or something like that. And then like this is, oops, I just undid my button. So, and this is stunning. This is something else on me, like all my friends. These are all things my friends are jealous of. The thing is that it doesn't look like something anybody else would have. Like that's the whole point. Okay, like for example, like these. I'm pretty sure these are gold earrings. I haven't taken them to an appraiser. But what is it? $4.50. I haven't taken them to an appraiser yet, but I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. I'm not saying you're going to get gold at your shop, but there's some kind of other thing. I don't know. Anyway, so my whole dish is full of things here, but that is not normal jewelry, people. Like, do you see that? I don't know if you can see that, but that's not jewelry you're going to get even in Nordstrom Rack. They don't make jewelry like that anymore. If your daughter goes into any kind of interview wearing something like that, holy smokes. Like that is some bling. I'm just saying. So, and they have other things that are regular. Like this I got at a thrift shop. This is more like the stuff that I used to have before. It's so beautiful. It's totally my style. I love it. So there's just all these things. And then this is kind of stuff that I used to love to get like with ballroom dancing, and I haven't been able to get in forever. You know, stuff like that. And then some really unique things that I haven't seen before. You know, I like all kinds of stuff. But let me be very clear. This is stuff that wasn't really normal in the shop. Do you know what I mean? They had a lot of, And these are from two shops. These are just from 2 shops that I've been to. But the thing is they have such a variety, and no one was picking this stuff out. It's just stuff that I like. That's my point, is that people, there's such a variety at every shop. It's just, everyone's so different, and the way people are made, and the way they used to make, and they even have, like, you know, simple ones, like, you know, simple, but look at how blingy that is. Like, that's not normal bling. I don't know if you can see that. That's not normal bling. I don't know. That's not, and those were 50 cents. It's not, I'm going to cry. I'm like, it's not normal bling. I haven't been able to shop in so long, you guys. I haven't been able to shop in so long. I mean, shop for other people, but now I don't get to see it or anything. I never get to see the stuff. I never get to visit. Meh. So anyway, this stuff is my stuff. So, and then there's some other stuff that looks like 100 times better than this, right? I have some bomb stuff, but I'm saving that for my other videos. Like, this is, I know this isn't even flattering on me, but I just love it because of, like, I just love it because of McQueen. Like, I just can't get over the McQueen. I just can't get over the McQueen. Can't get over it. So for me, it makes me feel good. And that's the whole point, is it's supposed to make you feel good. But you can get away with, like, doing an entire new wardrobe. Like, I got, like, an entire wardrobe that I needed, that, like, for example, like, what I bought at Macy's for $100, I got for under 50 bucks at a thrift shop. Less than that, maybe 35. So, and that was with all the sales at Macy's. And then they're made better. They're made better. They're just made so much better. And I like the fact that they were owned by somebody else, like that white hat and everything like that. I like it because it means that it has a softer feel to it and everything like that. Oh, here, like, I'll show you something. Wait till you see this thing. Boom. All right? Like, boom. Boom. Do you understand? See, I can stand up. I can stand up. I never used to do that for you guys before. I'm like a regular person. I can stand up. It's so nice. But I don't even know. Can you guys tell how nice can you even tell how nice this is? I don't know. Can you tell how nice? This is as nice as my people, like, who are on the cover of, I can't see the freaking magazines, but, you know, this is as nice as they wear. And some of them don't even get to wear that nicest stuff because they have to AstroTurf. So they're out there wearing cheap, you know, China stuff. So, you know, they don't even get to wear this stuff outside. They have to wear it inside. Ha-ha. Oh. Okay, now this one I didn't get at a thrift shop. This one I got online. This one I got on eBay. Now, so let me talk to you about shopping on eBay. Let me give you some tricks about shopping on eBay, because I know if there's not a thrift store around you, you have to do eBay. So let me talk to you about that. eBay does some tricks on you. They want you to spend money, right? They want you to spend money. So here's what they do. Let me show you some things that I got on eBay. All right, so yeah. And so this is why I'm done shopping, because I have learned, I'm just like, okay, maxed out my money. It's time to be done. Medical bills, now get it. But, so this is one of the things that I got on eBay. I don't know if you can tell, but it's extremely detailed. And so it's very different for me. I've never owned anything like it. But if you compare it to the other jewelry that you've seen hanging up behind me, in my videos, it's way higher quality. Like, they don't make stuff like this anymore. You can't find anything this finely made anymore. You know what I mean? Like, vintage stuff is just made 100 times better. And this wasn't even 20, I think this was like $11. Now that's expensive. I regret it. I regret getting this. I regret spending $11. I spent way too much on it. I've learned that now. That's way too much money. These I paid like $4 for. Are they not the bomb? Are they not the bomb? Okay, and I'll never be able to wear them because they're huge. And that's one of the things that I've learned on eBay is they show you these little things and then you think that they show you them and they look so small, but they don't tell you what size they are. And well, they do, but you don't actually read the listing and say that it's like 1¼ inches, and that's big. Like, I think this is actually bigger than 1¼ but a lot of these circle earrings are like 1¼ inches, which is huge, and that's the style that they were back in the day. But this matches this, so I think I'm gonna leave it. Anyway, it's actually a chance to wear it. So anyway, maybe one day I'll wear it. My friends were saying I should be a stylist, and I was like, you know what? That would actually get me moving. Like, that would actually get me up and out of the house, and I would actually love that. So, I mean, I love programming and everything, but programming requires me to like sit and stay, and I have been sitting and staying. So I love programming too, but I would love being a stylist. Like, I would love it. And heck, I already do shopping for all my friends. Why wouldn't I just keep, I'm like, I already do the dang job. Like, I already do the dang job all the time. So why wouldn't I just keep going? So anyway, but my point is let's talk about eBay. Let's get into eBay and the whole 9 yards and what that is, and the tips of it. So they want you to spend money. So when you go onto eBay and you shop vintage on eBay, here's what they're going to do. Here's what you need to do. Go onto eBay because you can get amazing stuff. You can get amazing stuff for a lower price. They're going to show you the higher price listings. That does not mean that they are the better stuff. Believe you me, I got a Bill Blass, or what was it, Bob Mackie. I got a Bob Mackie coat for $4. Like my girl actresses were drooling, and I think they accidentally listed it too low because they were like make an offer, and I saw what they were listing everything else for. And I was like, this is not priced at what everything else is listed. I think they accidentally listed. So I didn't make an offer. I was like, buy now. Like, but if they say make an offer, like always make an offer, never, ever, ever, like just take the price unless you think you're going to buy a lot of things from that person. If you're going to buy a lot of things from that person, never make an offer because they may combine shipping on you. When you make an offer, you're locked into that shipping. Like this one person, the person that I bought this from, I made a bunch of offers on the things, and then it locked me into paying their shipping on everything. So they shipped one package with it all, but my shipping was like this much. I paid this much, but the shipping was like huge. And I was like, I got screwed because I was planning on saying like, send me the total at the end. After I did, she accepted all of my like low offers, but it locked me into paying the shipping on every single one. So like, oh, it's raining. Okay. So just be aware of that. So you have to keep that in mind, like always just save and everything like that. But here are the big things. Here are the big hints about buying on eBay when you buy vintage. When you look, you have to go into the side. You type in whatever it is you're looking for. So you type in whatever it is you're looking for. So let's say you're looking for, vintage coat, size medium. So you just say vintage coat M. And it drops down all the listings in front of you. That will not be all that's available. Not by a freaking long shot. First of all, underneath it, it will say eBay has filtered out some of the listings for you. If you want to see the full search, click on that. You don't even have to bother with that. You can click on that if you want to, but you don't have to bother with that. What you want to do is go underneath to the side and do two things. First, you want to click on and say US only. First thing you want to do, you want to click US only. That eliminates all the China stuff that's cheap and not really vintage. That's what I always recommend you do. I recommend you just go straight up to eBay because some people don't say to list their vintage stuff in vintage. They don't know how to do that. So I would just go straight to the eBay site and just don't go to the vintage section or anything. I've learned the hard way. Just go on top of eBay and you just type in, vintage coat M. And then you go on the side and you click US only. And because boy, China likes to list in vintage. They know it's a big market. And so you get a lot of fake stuff that's new. And it's really, really cheaply made. You want the good stuff. You want the good stuff like this, right? Okay, so you go on the side and then you say US only. And then you go to where it says price. And you say like $0 to $5. And you'll look at the listing and you'll see that it's like, oh, here's 99 cents, 99 cents to $1. And then all of a sudden it skips up to $2. And then all of a sudden it skips up to $3 on the same page. If there's a lot of listings, they just skip all the way up to $3 pretty dang quickly. Pretty dang quickly. So what you have to do is like say $0 to $1, because the shipping's going to be a lot anyway, you know, the shipping's always going to be high. And then you go up to the top and you say, list it by, you know, lowest price first, you know, shipping plus price lowest. So it's a lot of clicks, but boy, then you get all the listings. You finally get, and eBay won't tell you that they're filtering out listings, but they are. That won't happen when there's like very little things. There are searches that I've done where there's like nothing available. Like there's just, it's not actually available. But that's partly because of my knowledge of the industry and jewelry. I'm looking for very specific things that I know, you know, ballroom, like I know the ballroom. I'm looking for specific ballroom jewelry makers that aren't being made anymore. So, you know, that when there's only a page available, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you're looking for clothes for back to school. When you're looking for clothes to back to school and you're looking for a pair of jeans and there's 50 million jeans out there, they're not going to show you anything that's $1. They're not going to show you anything that's $2. They're not going to show you anything that's $3, even though there are people out there that just want to get it off. They are in the middle of an estate sale and they just want to get it off. And then if you can do the bidding if you want to do, you never know how bids are going to work out. You can always look at completed listings and see how the thing that you're looking for normally, you know, see what they average list for. You can always do that if you decide to do bidding and you really need the thing quickly. Look at, you know, what's ending the soonest, and then you can see things that are ending most recently. But I would just say, you know, you can do buy it now. It's up to you. You can do whatever you want. But, you know, my biggest thing is that eBay won't list all of the listings for you. They will filter things out. It'll say, like, we've chosen things for you, and it'll just filter things out. And the wide variety of things that are available in vintage, so many listings are out there. And I really want to help out the people who are trying to sell their vintage stuff. And they're like, why isn't my stuff selling? And they don't know that eBay is like filtering these things out. And they're really filtering you towards certain sellers that they prefer. And a lot of these sellers are also from China. Like eBay really shoves towards China. It really drives me nuts. It's amazing. So you run into all these vintage listings that are just new products. Like they look like amazing products, but it turns out they're just new, and they're just like a lot of things in Menlo Park, California. You know, those parks, those are all just, you know, factories made from China. They're just importing from China. So it may be here in the US, but it's just, you know, it's like Amazon, just straight from China, and then it exports from here. So I know that Made in China complain about, you know, Walmart, but I'm like, yeah, Walmart's 90% made in China. The rest of it's made here. Forget the Amazon's not. And Walmart at least obeys the law. Amazon doesn't. Amazon breaks the law as a rule. And Amazon does the exact same thing China does. Like it follows everything, all of China's practices. Amazon will take a product that's selling well. Like there is that one makeup product, I've noticed it, like the makeup eraser. Like every single product that does well in the US, all the Home Shopping Network's products that do well, like the pillowcases or the pillows or the fluffy pills, whatever it is, because I've been sick in bed for a long freaking time and I've watched them do it over the years, whether it be a health serum or anything for the face. There will be a product that comes out in the US and it'll sell really well. It'll be #1 ranked. It'll do really well. And then Amazon will come out with their own product that's identical, but it's like 1/10 of the price. And then what they'll do is suddenly their product will be ranked 5 stars, but the one that's original, that's ranked their original price, it'll always be like 4.2 stars or 4.5 stars. And so the person's like, well, the original product's just a little bit worse. And I like the original product, but it's actually ranked a little worse. And the new product is cheaper and it's 5 stars. Like, yeah, pull the lever for that one. And so, you know, China, and that's exactly what China does, is that they steal the intellectual property of people who go to China. But Amazon gets to do it because when people list on Amazon, they have to list all their ingredients. So even if you're here in the US, all your stuff, they list the ingredients, and then China steals it and makes their own. So everything from the makeup eraser and stuff like that. So I had to start literally making the decision to just, you know, just buy the thing, the original. Like just buy the original, because it was always the same star. It's always like 4.4 star for every single product. 4.4 star, 4.4. And I was like, yeah, that doesn't happen on every #1 product. Like on every original, 4.4 star, 4.4 star, 4. I was like, this is, and then always for the new product that Amazon created, And you'd buy the one that Amazon created, and it would come with packaging that had Amazon all over the thing. They would say, oh, pillow now, or this now, or this now, but the packaging inside had Amazon written all over it. It would be like an Amazon label. All inside, all the product packaging was like Amazon, 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 Amazon. It was always an Amazon company. And that's exactly what China is in trouble for, is the patent. And so you find out that all the practices, it's really, really scary. And so eBay kind of does, like, you know, they push people towards China, and I'm just kind of like, nope, you know. So I really make an effort to buy things that are vintage. And of course, the vintage things will be made in Hong Kong, but you'd be surprised. Most of the vintage things are not made in China. Most of the vintage things are made in Hong Kong or made in Mexico, and some of them are made in the USA. And the made in the USA things are the best made. Like, they are by far the best made. They feel amazing. So always, you know, pull the lever for made in the USA if you can. Like, I've tried looking for just made in the USA things. You can tell the listings are like made in the USA. They know people are looking for it. But mostly just buying vintage is like good for your body and good for your health. It feels so much better on you, and it's so good for your wallet. And it's a good thing to teach your kids, because it's what we used to do. It's what we used to do as a nation, because what you do with the money you save, that's what we used to buy our houses with. That's why middle class Americans used to own 3 houses and 3 properties that they pass on to their kids. That was their inheritance. You know, middle class used to have an inheritance to give to their kids, because they saved doing this. So back to school is an amazing opportunity. All right. Have fun out there shopping, guys. Have fun getting out there. Do it all. But for me, my eBay days are done. I surf it sometimes, but now I'm like, I'm not pulling the lever unless it's $3 and under, because I can get even more beautiful things in person. Like, I want to see it in person, and I can get, you know, things in person for $3 and under. Why would I do what? All the shirts at the other thrift shop, the one that has all the clothing, all the shirts are like $3 and under. Like, an expensive top is $4, and then they have sales where everything's 50% off. Why? Why would I buy on eBay where a cheap shirt is like $10? You know, I did think that was a great deal. Now I don't. I said in Boss Jewel, like I said, you know, and that's the thing, is that what matters at the end of the day is that someone thinks you look boss. That's what matters at the end of the day. They don't give a crap where you bought it. They don't give a crap. All that matters is that when you walk down the street, heads turn. And believe you me, when I was shopping and with my taste and stuff like that, heads turn. And I feel like I'm buying better things than I did when I had money. I really do. I'm like looking at my closet going, this is better than when I had money. So I'm looking forward to the day where I get strong enough and I can walk down NYC, because I'm going to feel good. Oh, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. Let's get those hips going. Let's get the hips and the spine and knee, and we're going to get there. All right, love you guys. Have a great afternoon, weekend, and yes, please donate for all the work that I did on this video and on this channel, and for all the money that you are saving. That would be wonderful. And yes, and thank you for the server. And now it's back to putting all the money towards medical bills, and it's going to be big, but we're going to do it. And I thank you for all of your love and support through this difficult time. And I'm excited for your kids going back to school. You are going to be empowered and ready to go, and they're going to look chic. That's right. There are a lot of young teenagers I've seen that actually shop the thrift shops, and every single one of them looks different. Those girls all have very, very individual styles, and they don't walk out with much. They're very particular, and I'm like, go girl. Like, they don't come out with huge bags. You know what I mean? Like, they're very, very particular. They know what they want, and they have a very, very individual sense of style. It's wonderful. I love seeing it. So anyway, and I told one girl, I said, I love your style. And she was just like, mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, she gets that all the time. Like, she gets complimented all the time, because it's good to look different. It's good. Style is not something that's seen anymore. So yeah. And yeah, so it's good. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Please donate. Buy me a coffee. I buy it at Panera. I'm trying to find a local store, but I buy my coffee at Panera.